Graduate of the Barcelona GSE, congratulations, you made it in very extreme circumstances. It must be bittersweet graduating in the middle of the pandemic. You don't have your friends to celebrate with you. You probably worry about your future. Some of you have been perhaps touched in your family by the disease or by the economic cost of the pandemic. And yet remember, you're the lucky ones because you got an excellent education and you're equipped to address many of the most important problems of the world. So you may wonder, how am I going to do that? What is my responsibility? How do I make progress? And as I hear the sound of helicopter over my head, going over Boston to police the demonstrations against racism, believe me, I often ask myself the same questions. Even before the pandemic, the Western society seemed to be on the brink of explosion. Poor people are tired of being left behind. The weight of racism has become literally intolerable. The COVID epidemic, far from being the great leveler that some people talked about at the beginning, has proved to have a very different impact on poorer people than on richer people. In the US, the African American and the Latino society communities are hurt much more than anyone else. Worldwide, the rate of mortality once we adjust for age are much, much higher in poor countries than in richer countries. Let me be honest. Many days when I think about these problems, I wake up around 3 and I lie there and I wonder, what can I do that is meaningful? What can I do that is adequate? And I suspect many of you have the same question, especially now. And there is a temptation that unless you can solve the entire problem at once, you are not doing enough. And this is something that I've heard in most of my career. But the reality is that the war against poverty, the war on cancer, the fight against racism, the fight for the planet, are not fights that are going to be won in one major battle. They are fights that are going to be won by a series of small victories, with no doubt many setbacks along the way. So what I would encourage you to do is to pick your issue, one that you feel you're equipped intellectually to address, and one that you feel you have the heart and the passion to address. Once you pick your issue, go for it with all your intelligence, all your training. Be nimble, be flexible, be ready to pivot, be ready to learn from the world whether or not you're right or wrong. Be ready to acknowledge that your intuition and preconceptions are wrong. In this way, you'll make progress on this one issue. And if many, many people make progress on many, many issues, we will prevail. I will leave you with Martin Luther King words, which give me a lot of comfort in these troubling days. He said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." I strongly believe these words, and I'm going to leave you with them. Congratulations once again, and I hope to see you soon.